We need a huge bounce here. Isn't that something? I mean, it, twice now in the last week and a half, whatever the hell it was. This was, I mean, this was set up to go north, without a doubt. I mean, Thursday when it stopped, it was on an upswing. It should have kept going, and they just pounded it down. But you know, in that last video, I did say, with the 2 short weeks, you know, it's very common that they try to pound it down, and you know they're going after that $3 for this. But if you could get over, if I could move this over, you could see that, you know, Friday the whole market was down like anywhere from 1 to 3%. I mean, my whole watch list was over here was all, you know, anywhere from 1 to 3% down, 4% down on a couple. So I mean, they just pounded the whole market Friday. But you know, I thought for sure we would get this bounce at this trend line, and they hammered it. You know, there's so much manipulation in the market, it's just crazy. This payment for order flow and off exchange stuff is just killing the market. But you got, I mean, individually, what are you going to do? There's nothing you're going to do about it, so you got to kind of go with the flow. I mean, if you're long on Fubo, it's a good time to add to your position, you know. Without a doubt, this is going up, but it's just, man, they're just stalling this out as much as they can. It's just crazy. But one thing I did notice for Friday is we didn't have that recover at the end of the day like we've been seeing for weeks on end. You know, they short it down and then it takes all day, but it eventually recovers. And a lot of that is shorts covering at the end of the day. So, you know, whether it's retail institutions, whatever, hedge funds, whatever the case may be. You know, when, like I've said throughout my videos, a lot of day traders watch that VWAP. So as it's gaining above the VWAP, they're adding to positions. But as soon as it pauses, they're getting out. So when it drops below the VWAP, like Friday, you know, it went below the VWAP and never even came close to getting back to it. So, and it just kept going lower and lower and lower. Well, on top of institutions and hedge funds shorting it down, retail just jumps on the bandwagon, and you can't blame them. I mean, if you're talking anywhere from 10 to 15 cents, that's a good trade by how many shares you're shorting or whatever. And Fubo is easy to short, so you just jump on the bandwagon. And as that pauses, now you cover, you know. And so it's a good trade one way or the other. You know, and if you're long, it's a good time to grab more shares. It's just simple as that, you know. If you can't beat the market, you just go with the flow. And that's, you make your money and get out. And I mean, that's what I do. I do it with options. I watch the options and see which ones are moving, jump in on the bandwagon, get rid of them by the end of the day. Good trade. So what it does the rest of the time makes no difference if you're not in the market. And if you're long, you're looking for long-term benefits anyway. So anytime you see a dip like this, you just add to your position and consider it a discount. I mean, Fubo's not going anywhere. They're going to be here for a long time, and it's going to skyrocket without a doubt. It's just a matter of time. It's just how long can you stick with it, you know? Yeah, it gets frustrating, and you want to see it run and everything else, but it's just like anything else, you know? They run when you least expect it. You know, institutions that are, or like BlackRock or Vanguard or whatever that has 17, 18, 20 million shares, you know, what are they doing? they're loaning all those shares out and they're selling options, you know. They drive this down. They start driving this down. So let's say you got 17 million shares. You're selling off 10 million of them to drive the price down, and you're selling puts like crazy. So what's going to happen? Once they sell enough puts, way out to wherever for a fortune, you know, people buy them a year in advance, and they pay a fortune for those puts. So then what is BlackRock? Let's just say, for instance, it was BlackRock. Okay, just an example. I'm not saying it is. But okay, so they know they have to have 17 million shares. So they sell 10 million off to drive the price down, sell a bunch of puts and everything. Then what do? Once they get enough puts and everything sold, now they buy all the shares back, drive the price up, and they start selling calls. And then they bring the price back down level in the middle and screw both ends. You know, and they make all that money. It's simple. It's just manipulation, but it's simple. It works, you know. As soon as this price starts running up, calls start flying off the shelf. You know, and that's part of retail's, you got to learn how to trade. So you got to know what they're doing and be able to react. And the problem is you get stuck, you know. And the same thing with institutions. You get institutions that, you know, shorting it. Then you get other ones that are buying it up, driving it back up, and, you know, they get stuck in their mindset of thinking, oh, this is only worth $1. So they'll just keep driving it down. Oh, this is impossible. Just like retail. So, and they're just cynical, you know. And that's how we end up with short squeezes. Because eventually they're like, okay, we got to get out of this, you know. Or somebody forces them to get out. Usually it's a bank or somebody that's loaning them all the money and stuff. It's just crazy. Just crazy. I know they're trying to say markets at, you know, a high and blah, blah, blah. And now we got the new year started. Happy New Year to everybody. But so now we're going to come out with minutes and all this other stuff. And they're going to blame the Fed for market crashes. And, just ridiculous. You know, just be a trader. Just be a trader. Get in, get out. That's what I'm doing. I'm not, I have no confidence in the stock market at all. So, but that's just me, you know. I like to make a trade and get out and then just watch to see what it does and get little pieces in between. But I see they have it, it's like 10 to 6 Central Time right now. And it was up there, 320 something. Now they got it at 315. I'm assuming we're going to see a bounce here. I'd like to see this push up back into this trend today. But being another short week, they're going to go after this 3. I'll almost bet you. I don't think they'll get it. I don't think they'll get it below 3. We might see a huge bounce though. So we'll have to see how this week plays out. Then once we get past this short week here and we get back to the norm, this will be interesting. You know, I had somebody made a comment that Fubo's not going to do anything until earnings. I think it was on the last video. Somebody made a comment there. But, you know, I get his point. You know, oh, it's not going to run until earnings, whatever. But as far as it not doing anything till earnings, no, this is always going to go up and down. You just got to play which way it's going. You know, you're either buying more shares, adding to a position, or you're shorting it, or buying low, selling high. I mean, it's always going to do something. They're not just going to be able to drive it down. That's impossible. It's got to do an upswing eventually. So, and we've seen that with everything. Another one I'm watching is fuel cell. Basically the same chart. You know, because Fubo had this kind of consolidation, bottomed out thing here, and then now they're moving up, and it looks like fuel cell is just a little bit behind. You know, Fubo's like, say if you follow the pattern, Fubo's up like here, where fuel cell's back here. Just look at this pattern, like this, and then we go to Fubo. They're kind of the same. Interesting, eh? That's a 4-hour chart. I mean, if we go to the day. Isn't this, look at this pattern. Look at this pattern. All 4 times here. 5 times, 6 times. It goes up, hits this line, comes down, goes up. Now we're at the same thing here. So we're going to get a big uptick. You know, 2 big green days. Come up to here. What is that? We come up to here. It'd be $4. Is it going to drive it up to $4 and then come back down? Maybe come back down to this 370 and then go again. We'll see. Time will tell. I'll make a video tomorrow or the next day or something. So let's see what happens today. We'll see you in the next video.